Here's another point. Matt Casey has raised this question. If Jason Kelce's out there, we heard him in the booth last night. Man, if I was a Falcons fan, I'd have been pissed. I think it's great to hear from Jason Kelce.
That's what I thought.
I think he could be a great broadcaster. But if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm throwing a shoe at the TV, right? I don't want to hear, because there's already this sensitivity. Are the announcers partisan? Who are they rooting for? You put the friggin' center, the Hall of Fame Eagles center who's beloved in town, you put him in the booth. There's no gray area anymore as to what that guy wants to have happen. I would have gone nuts if I was a Falcons fan last night.
And it was for so long. I understand maybe he comes to the booth, but then it was like, let's talk about the tush push. Let's talk about Cam Jurgens' night tonight. Like, it felt like we were watching a preseason Eagles home game of the broadcast team is only focused on the Eagles. I'm like, I told my wife I'm watching, I said, I would hate this if I'm a Falcons fan. Like, this isn't an Eagles broadcast. Like, this is Monday Night Football. Like, I want to hear about my team. And again, like you said, Kelce's amazing. He's highly entertaining. We love watching him. But it was like, what are we doing here? But I do think that's interesting of the trust that you have in those situations. It felt like last year with the tush push, it was like, and I think they spoke about it over and over again last year, like, we could run this play and get 5 yards in 2 plays. Like, we know we could do that. Maybe they do that if Kelce's in there. But that's the thing about moving on from all-time greats and legends of what do you do? How do you handle it as a coach? What is your plan going forward? Because I also do wonder for Kellen Moore, you kind of walk in to the tush push. I don't know how much he thinks about calling that. Is that something that he loves? I don't know. That's a Philadelphia
I didn't come up with
thing.
it. It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
Exactly.
I'm here to do my thing. That's a great point.
Yeah, I just offensive coordinators are all different. Like, we watched the tush push, and what did everybody say last year? Why doesn't every team do this? Why every team should do this? And then we saw some teams try to do it. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. And then that's when everyone started to realize, like, hey, Jason Kelce is a key part of this tush push. He is the reason behind it. So I do wonder how much they believe in it now, even as overall as an organization, Sirianni. But also I wonder how much does Kellen Moore actually love the tush push?
Last point, because we are well over the loosely suggested time, but there was a lot. This is good. I'd rather have an hour to talk about a game than like 15 minutes and we're like, what the hell else are we going to talk about? There's a lot there. I think back to last year, the Monday night game against the Seahawks, when it became eventually known that there was some freelancing that was being done by the Eagles. And that was some of the stuff that came out. They were ignoring the play call. I feel like that's one moment that if Jason Kelce was out there, maybe in the huddle, he would have said, what the hell are we doing? No. We're running this play. And we never would have heard the truth about it because they would have gained the first down and they would have won the game. But it feels like that maybe is something he could have done. I hate to say that because I'm sure that defies everything you ever learned as a member of the Patriots. You never go against what the coach tells you to do. But I almost feel like some of that freelancing that got him in trouble last year as a team, as players, that maybe they needed somebody like Jason Kelce to say, even if it was just, let's take a timeout, let's talk about it. Like we talked about the Philly special. Let's talk about this. We got timeouts. Hang on. Take a timeout. And then he goes over. Somebody explains, we can't throw the ball here. I don't know. It's all hypothetical. It's all speculative. But boy, I wish they would have kept him. They kept him as long as they did. It would have been great if he'd have been in the booth when that was happening.
And it's ownership, because it's not always like the play comes in and then you kind of shut it down and you go with your own play. But it's in that moment. Maybe if Kelce's on the field, he's looking at the sideline and he's saying, run the damn ball, run behind us. Believe in us, because the best teams that I was on as a New England Patriot, that happened. That was guys being in the game saying, Coach, we got it. Call this. Call the blitz right now, Coach. We're going to execute it. And I think that's what you want. And maybe this Eagles team starts to build to that, because you look at both Atlanta and Philly last night, there's a lot of new things happening on both these teams. It's only week 2, so maybe they build towards that. But I think even as Jalen Hurts, that is my one thing that I would love to see Jalen Hurts do more of. I think He's a good player. He understands the game at a high level. His dad was a coach. He coached him that way the whole time, of coming out in some of these moments and saying, you know what? I'm not going to be the nice guy. I'm not. Run the ball. Hey, Kellen, run the ball. Either give me the ball or give Saquon Barkley the ball running. However he feels, maybe he did like the third down pass play, the roll pass. Maybe that's something he did. Maybe, I don't know. But I would love for him to be a little bit more kind of that edgy guy who gets fired up and says, you know what? I'm that good. I can carry three guys, because he did it all night. When he got into the secondary, again, those DBs felt the pain and the squats that they talk about with Jalen Hurts. He was finishing runs last night as a quarterback. I would love for him in those moments to just come out and say in his press conference, hey, I told Nick, run the ball. Give me an option, give it to Saquon, or I keep it. I told him that, and we win and won the game. Like, I would love to see more of that side of Jalen Hurts.
And when he was asked about that play call, all he said is, I don't want to put any more wood on that fire. He was very, very reluctant to go there, but we'll see if he says any more the next time he talks to the media. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.